Hey, junior scientists! Welcome back to Learn with Mike, where science is fun, simple, and all around you. Today, we're diving into some important chemistry basics: isotopes, ions, molecules, and compounds. These ideas help us understand how atoms behave, bond, and build everything around us. So let's get started. We already learned that atoms are made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons, but not all atoms of the same element are exactly the same. That's where isotopes come in. Isotopes are atoms of the same element that have the same number of protons but different numbers of neutrons. Think of them like siblings. Part of the same family, but slightly different in weight because of extra or fewer neutrons. For example, carbon has a common isotope called carbon-12 and another called carbon-14. Both are carbon because they have the same number of protons, but carbon-14 is heavier since it has two more neutrons. Next, let's talk about the difference between a neutral atom and a charged atom, also called an ion. A neutral atom has an equal number of protons and electrons, which means its overall charge is zero. But if an atom gains or loses electrons, it becomes charged, and that's when it's called an ion. If it loses electrons, it has more protons than electrons. That makes it a positive ion, also called a cation, like these. And if it gains electrons, it has more electrons than protons. That makes it a negative ion, also called an anion. Here are some examples. Now let's look at their models side by side. In the case of the anion, we have 5 electrons and 4 protons, so the atom has one extra negative charge, giving it a -1 charge. On the other hand, for the cation, we have 5 protons and 4 electrons, meaning there's one extra positive charge, giving it a +1 charge. Now let's talk about what happens when atoms bond together. When 2 or more atoms join together, they form a molecule. For example, 2 oxygen atoms bond to form O2, a molecule of oxygen gas. When different kinds of atoms bond together, they form a compound. For example, hydrogen and oxygen bond to form H2O, which is water. Here's an easy way to remember it. All compounds are molecules, but not all molecules are compounds. O2 is a molecule, but not a compound, because it's made of only one type of atom. H2O is both a molecule and a compound, because it's made of 2 different elements. Now, here's an important question. Why do atoms form compounds in the first place? Atoms form compounds to become more stable. Every atom wants its outermost energy level, or shell, to be full of electrons. If it's not full, the atom feels unstable, kind of like a chair with one leg missing. So atoms share, gain, or lose electrons to fill that outer shell. And that's when chemical bonds form. By forming compounds, atoms reach a more balanced, lower energy state, which makes them stable. In short, atoms form compounds to feel complete and balanced. Let's do a quick recap. So today we learned that isotopes are atoms of the same element with different numbers of neutrons. Ions are charged atoms that gained or lost electrons. Molecules are atoms bonded together. Compounds are molecules made of different elements. And finally, atoms form compounds to become more stable by filling their outer energy shells. That's all for today's episode of Learn with Mike. If you enjoyed exploring the world of atoms, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with another curious mind. And remember, always stay curious because science is all around you.